This is Chris Shortis from the Australia First Party. Our countrymen have been subjected to lockdowns or some sort of restrictions on our liberties since the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus under the guise of a state of emergency. Borders remain shut and curfews now exist in New South Wales, Victoria and other places. Businesses and livelihoods have been smashed, and a rapidly growing mental health crisis is emerging out of the increasingly authoritarian response to the disease, which has to be managed and cannot be eliminated. The premiers and chief ministers are on a power trip, and with the Prime Minister Scott Morrison, they claim the only path to our freedom is to have the COVID-19 vaccinations. AstraZeneca, Pfizer and Moderna have only received provisional approval and by definition are experimental and have not been subjected to the rigorous clinical trials to establish their efficacy. Therefore, patients cannot give informed consent because medical professionals still have no idea of the long-term effects of these experimental vaccines. Medical professionals, by law, have to disclose any potential risk to their patients, no matter how minute. And before the patient agrees to any medical treatment, this is established case law. Compulsory vaccinations are unconstitutional under section 51, subsection 23A, because any form of civil conscription of medical services is forbidden. This is also established case law by the High Court. They have stated that this is one of the few guaranteed constitutional protections we have, both doctors and patients. Doctors cannot be compelled or forced to treat patients, and patients cannot be compelled to receive medical services because their arrangements are a private contract and must require agreement by both. States cannot make laws inconsistent with the Commonwealth. And Clause 5 of the Australian Constitution says this Act and all laws made by Federal Parliament is binding on the states, judges and the courts and all people in the states and all parts of the Commonwealth. Our path to freedom does not lie in receiving experimental mRNA vaccines. Our pathway to freedom is to uphold our founding document, the Constitution, and defy all unlawful actions by state and federal governments who do not obey the law of the land.